Morning, Lighthouse. I hope you have a really good week this week. Our devotions this week, in the online devotions, we're going to be doing a series called This Is My Story. And that is what it is. People from Lighthouse are going to tell about their story and their encounters with Jesus Christ. One of the Jesus followers who wrote one of the books in the New Testament part of the Bible, a guy called Luke, he tells a story of a guy called Zacchaeus who met Jesus. Zacchaeus was a tax collector, not very well liked then, most probably thought a little bit dodgy now. But the trouble was, he was collecting taxes for the Romans, so that made it doubly worse, and he was most probably taking a cut for himself. But he wanted to see Jesus. He wanted to see who this incredible healer and teacher was. And the other thing he had against him was he wasn't very tall either. So there was lots of crowds and he couldn't see. So he climbed a tree so that he could see who this Jesus guy was. But Jesus spotted him and called him down. And he said, "Zacchaeus, I'm coming to your house." That started Zacchaeus' encounter with God. And it changed everything. Many years ago, a team that I was on was visiting a country that had been through a dreadful war. There were so many widows and orphans. And the church that we were helping had a ministry and used to run children's groups to an ethnic group that was considered most probably bottom of the pile, if they were honest. And we went over and used to do children's clubs with this group that were from this very, very dodgy ethnic group. And we used to have children's clubs. And sometimes there was like 40 or 50 children packed into what would be a normal size UK lounge. These kids were great, but they had very little, and the rest of the country looked down on them. On this particular occasion, a child with Down syndrome was brought in to this particular meeting. He was a little special needs lad, absolutely gorgeous. And as he brought in, the other kids, these kids who knew what it was to be nothing, started to spit at him. I was just shocked. It was one of those moments in my life I'll never forget. But the person who was leading the session just went and got this little lad, took a handkerchief out of her pocket, and she wiped the spit off his face, brought him to the front of the room and sat him by her side in the place of honour. And so started that little lad's story of being placed in a place of honour by a Jesus follower. Remarkable stories. I wonder if you should start checking out who Jesus is. And I pray and I hope that you'll find these stories of people's lives this week so encouraging, because it's not over. Those stories are still living because Jesus is alive. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy these devotions together, and remember, it's not over.